So this is the Ride Berzerker on the table under the pretty line, so you can kind of take a look at its shape off the snow and kind of see what it's doing in person. This is a demo model. It's not as pretty as the production model, and sometimes demos can get a little weird. But it's a really good idea of, it's probably very close to what it's going to be in production. The camber profile, nose and tail, you can kind of see here. You can see the nose and tail. The nose is a little longer, but there's a lot of tail here. There's a little taper going on. So it's definitely different than last year. Last year was a double ender. This year has got some taper on it. Everything's going more directional these days. Let's take a look at this camber profile. You can see it kind of goes almost all the way to the tail, maybe just a touch of early rise, very mellow early rise in the tail. And then you've got a decent amount of camber, but not a ton, just very mellow up, you know, in the middle here, slowly transitioning down and kind of going up mellow in the front here. It just kind of goes almost flat. So you can feel a lot of that board when you're on snow, as opposed to some that just rise up. You don't feel like you have a short camber board. It kind of allows the effective edge, as they talk about, you know, to really kind of do more, and that's kind of cool. You can see though, you know, it's not a massive amount of camber, but it's enough to give you a cambery feel, but still be pretty forgiving. Let's get into, you know, stance widths. Ride's pretty good at taking care of that. You can see there's 6x2 each insert, each binding. And you can see, like, if you want to go minimum stance with traditional discs, you're looking at about 20.5, and with minis, about 19 3/4. And then if you want to go all the way out with traditional discs, really just free the taint, you're looking at about 25 and about 25. And then if you want to use mini discs, which Ride mainly has, 26. Is that 26? That can't be right. 25 3/4. Yep. So that's, you know, just take it a quarter out. And we're doing a new thing these days. We're talking about, like, who this is going to fit best. You can kind of figure out based on your boot's footprint and your bindings, but just kind of doing the width on the outside insert and the inside insert, so you can get an idea of what's going on there. You're looking at just about like 26.2 or so down to the edge. You know, it's very, very general, but kind of like that. And then about 25.5, and then about, you know, about the same here, and then about 26.4, 26.5, somewhere around there. So that's pretty good. And then you know, in terms of directional float, you can see there's more rocker in the nose, a little more nose than tail. It's a little wider, but you know, one of the key components is the setback on board, and I've already done the measurements for you, good readers, so you can see what's going on here. And with the Berzerker, if you want to set it all the way back, you're looking at 22.75, a little wide for 159, but you know, hey, everybody has different widths, and you know, whatever works outside to get a little bit outside your shoulders often helps a lot. So 22.75, and at 22.75, there's a 4.5 inch difference between the nose to the back insert and the tail to the back insert, making it about 2.25 inches back on board if you want to go from center. So that's kind of cool, but it's not that massive. It's kind of in that, still in that all mountain range. You know, that's kind of like where all mountain cuts off and free ride begins. Usually free ride boards have a little more setback going on. So this ride's definitely a little centered, and that's probably one of the reasons why it feels more like a double ender on groomers. And when we rode off the reference stance in a powder day at Mission Ridge, it was not feeling like super floaty, but set further back it would help a little. But you know, you've got the taper though, and you've got the early rise in the nose. So overall, it's going to be pretty good. Set all the way back, which we wish we did. But, you know, pretty good directional float, but not amazing. Still kind of on that border between all mountain and free ride. This base, you can see has a pretty aggressive grind on it. But it seemed to have decent glide, and with a good wax job. It has a wax job now, but it's getting a little old. It's starting to get a little dry on the sides. But overall, it had decent glide to it, and I think the production model will have better. And I love that it's just clear. And, you know, if you get clear PTEX and a PTEX gun and you gash this up, you can fix it. So without any weird marks, it can look pretty good as long as you don't get down too deep. So all in all, you know, there you have the on the table review of the Berzerker, and we like it a lot better than the first time we tried it. It just felt a little too hooky. This time it doesn't feel as hooky. It feels like it has a little more drive, and the tapered shape definitely helps a little more in powder. So there you have it.